Hi there. We're on day 140 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. And today we're going to finish John chapter 6. So let's finish John chapter 6. Okay, now I said yesterday we would go back to the start of this paragraph. So, right? He's talking about how the will of my Father and everyone who looks on the Son and believes him should have eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. Okay? So the Jews grumbled about him because he said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. They said, is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph? No, he's not. Whose father and mother we know. How does he now say, I came down from heaven? Jesus answered them, do not grumble among yourselves. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up on the last day. Okay? No one can come to Jesus unless the Father calls them. And he continues, it is written in the prophets, and they will all be taught by God. Right? And everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me. Not that anyone has seen the Father except he who is from God. He has seen the Father. Truly, truly, very important. I say to you, whoever believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the bread that comes down from heaven, so that one may eat of it and not die. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And the bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh. You got that? When he died, okay? That's an important verse right there. The Jews then disputed among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever feeds on my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. For my flesh is true food, and my blood is true drink. You could tear into that, right? Whoever feeds on my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in whom. As the living Father sent me, I live because of the Father. So whoever feeds on me, he also will live because of me. This is the bread that came down from heaven, not like bread the fathers ate and died. Whoever feeds on this bread will live forever. Jesus said these things in the synagogue as he taught at Capernaum. Wow, that's pretty deep, huh? Right? You eat the flesh of Jesus and drink his blood. Okay, that's communion, okay? During the Last Supper, he said, and he broke the blood, this is my flesh, take and eat, right? You have the cup, this is my blood, okay? And I heard an interesting little thing yesterday about somebody talking about during the marriages back then, the way it went was a father would agree to basically sell his daughter to a husband, okay? And they would go over there for dinner, okay? And they would do what was called a blood covenant, where the father of the girl betrothed would pour a glass of wine in a special cup and give it to the suitor, the man, right? The man would then take that glass and offer it to the girl and said, I offer you my life, right? My blood, okay? And by her taking it and drinking of it, right, she is accepting his life for her, okay? And Jesus did the same thing with the cup, right? This is my blood, okay? The same things. He was taking all of us who do the communion in marriage, okay? So, but they wouldn't understand that, right? Okay. The words of eternal life. When many of his disciples heard it, they said, this is a hard saying. Who can listen to it? But Jesus, knowing in himself that his disciples were grumbling about this, he said to them, do you take offense at this? Then what if you were to see the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? It is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh is no help at all. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life. But there are some of you who do not believe, for Jesus knew from the beginning who those were who did not believe and who it was who would betray him. Right? And he said, this is why I told you that no one can come to me unless it is granted him by the Father. Okay? After this, many of his disciples turned back and no longer walked with him. So Jesus said to the 12, do you want to go away as well? Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to who shall we go? You have the words of eternal life, and we have believed and have come to know that you are the Holy One of God. Jesus answered them, did I not choose you the 12, and yet one of you is a devil? He spoke of Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, for he, one of the 12, was going to betray him. Right? All knew this, and he knew all the way. But you know what is the interesting part? He never stopped loving him, even though he knew he was going to betray him, right? To the very end. And if you think about it, Peter betrayed him, right? 3 times, right? Judas betrayed him. Peter ran back to Jesus. Judas committed suicide. Okay? If Judas would have ran back to Jesus, what do you think would have happened? We'll never know, right? We'll never know. So there you go. That's the end of chapter 6. We'll mark that as complete. Good stuff in there, huh? Wow. Tomorrow, the Feast of Booze, right? So, there you have it. These are nice short studies. Okay. Catch up on any you may have missed. They're all down there, right? Or you can just read John and catch up with us if you want. Either way works. So, give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll continue. See you then.